Hello, and welcome back to Novel Gaming. I'm Vicki.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Katie.
And today we're talking about our top picks for the best gateway games, or games we introduce to people, our friends and family, to suck them into the world of video games. But I thought a good place to start would be to talk about what we think makes a great gateway game. Like what are some themes that pop out or things that make us say like, yes, this is where I want to start with you, or this is, a game to get started with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think for me, a good gateway game is something that doesn't overcomplicate things and focuses on not necessarily one, but one to only a few core dynamics, something that somebody can really hone in on and kind of get hooked by,
Yeah, I think one of the things I was thinking about, so this not complicating things, I was thinking specifically about controls and not having complicated controls. Because one of the things that I really think about whenever I play video games with people who don't really play video games and I'm using a controller and they're using a controller is that using two joysticks, one to move and one to look around, is really hard for people who haven't done it. Yeah. And so one of the things I was thinking about when choosing my games and just thinking about gateway games in general was how easy is it to actually play?
Yeah, and a theme that kind of pops up in a couple of my picks is the multi-generational span, and that in itself is not a good theme because there's a lot of things that make it so, but things that pop up, I could play, an 8-year-old could play, a 50-year-old can play, and we might have different experiences, but we all enjoy something. So that ability just to grab people of different interests and age groups, and maybe that's through story or the accessibility piece. I think that's something that I appreciate in a gateway game.
Yeah.
We also wanted to acknowledge two very special games near and dear to our hearts.
The biggest gateways.
Yes, the biggest gateways.
Gates are always open.
Yes, quite literally. Yeah. Well, maybe not.
Only for best friends.
Yes, best friends. So we wanted to shout out Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing New Horizon.
Well, I'm excited to hear about everybody's picks. Yeah. And I'm going to start with one that I don't think has any story, but is great for multiplayer and has really fun, I think, fairly intuitive controls. And that is Nintendo Switch Sports, which is the newest iteration of Wii Sports. So it's for Switch and Switch exclusive. Switch Sports is just really fun. It's got good online components. It would definitely be 1,000% fun with couch co-op. You can unlock, I love this. You can unlock clothing items and accessories for your little characters and create a custom character. They've got the classics like bowling and tennis, but they also include badminton, and I really love volleyball. It's fun. It's fun. What about you, Doug? What's your first pick?
So I don't play a lot of resource management games, so this is a gateway for me, this game. This is resource management meets, I guess, solitaire card game type thing. It's a game called Stacklands, and it's developed by a development collective, they call themselves. I really, really like, called Sock Pop. And it's only a few bucks. And for this game, all you need to be able to do is click and drag with a mouse. That's all you have to do control-wise. You have a deck of cards, and you use those cards to basically keep a couple humans alive. So you have some crops, and you can make food with those cards, or you can turn them into resources or building materials. Sometimes you get animals. Sometimes animals find you. And the more you do, the more you learn. And one thing I really like about it that I don't think all resource management games have is you can pause whenever you want to stop and think about what your next move is. So if you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, you can just pause it and think about it, or take a lap around the house or strategize. So it makes it really nice to learn.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First one I picked was the Uncharted series. So this game, all of the games, I watched before I played. So like I knew a lot about Uncharted before I actually played the game, and I have zero interest in shooting games. But I don't think of Uncharted as a shooting game. It's just such a fantastic story, and it eases you into it. And Naughty Dog and Uncharted 2 is actually really well known for how they introduce you to the game and the mechanics with that opening sequence. So I think they're fabulous for people who like adventure and are driven by story. And then the shooting elements, like, it's fine, and there's enough other stuff to do that even if you don't enjoy it, it's not going to bog you down, and you can set it to easy and put on auto aim.
Nice.
You know, so if it's not your strong suit, you could still enjoy it.
Sure.
Well, Katie, what's your pick?
Yeah, so this was the game I kind of immediately thought of. It's a game called Gone Home. It's a first-person exploration game where I won't get too deep into the story, but you play as a girl who comes home from a trip, and you are trying to figure out kind of where everybody is or where everybody isn't in your home. So you're just kind of walking around looking in drawers and like reading people's diaries and letters. And who doesn't love looking through somebody's house? So it's got like some atmospheric stuff. When I first started playing it, I thought it was going to be spooky and scary, but it's not. But it does kind of give off that vibe. But it's like a pretty chill game. You do have to do the 2 controller thing, but it's all kind of at your own pace, and you can figure out how to use the double joysticks because no one's yelling at you, no one's chasing you, no one's trying to kill you. You're literally just like walking around this house. So Gone Home.
I wanted to think of a game that could potentially allow people to dip their toes into spooky, sort of tangential to survival horror games, because I know that horror is a genre across all media that's really hard to convince people to try out. And I think I'm on observation duty is a good one for that. That's literally what the game is called. I'm on observation duty. There's 5 of them already.
Oh, wow.
They're like a couple bucks each. And basically the premise of the game is that you are on observation duty watching watching like security cameras of a given space. So you might be watching like a house, and so you can flip between rooms, but it's like a spot the difference game. So it's not like stuff's gonna run at you or jump out at you or whatever. Occasionally you might be caught off guard because something might be there that wasn't there before, but it's not jumping out at you, and it's not, you know, screaming at you or whatever. So it's like low, it's like the lowest stakes sort of like potential jump scare. And I think it's the perfect kind of game to play with other people, like in a pair or in like a small group, which also helps with the sort of like potential spookiness of it.
Right.
Okay.
What's your last one, Vicki?
Well, my last one, I don't know if I have a specific game in mind, but I put Sims games for a couple of reasons. So one, like the accessibility piece. So I played, I don't even know which version of The Sims on our, I think, Game Boy Advance way back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But there's, a whole host of versions. What I really like about Sims, I'm using that very broadly, games, is that you could play them how you like. So I tend to find them a little complicated, and that I think is partly on me because I tend to complicate them. But like, you literally can make the game how you want and your character how you want. I like City Skylines and play it in a very counterintuitive to a city planner. I just like to build something big and pretty, and it doesn't have to make sense, and I don't care about the traffic.
Hell yeah.
And then, I like the YouTube videos of City Planner Plays, where he plays the actual games and, does them like how a city planner actually would. So I love that there's the variability in complexity based on how you want, and there are different versions and different add-ons everywhere, so you can really make it what you want to kind of fit your interests.
Yeah.
There's so much truth to that.
Yeah. Something for everyone.
Yeah.
I think we have a really good spread here. I mean, one, thanks for listening, but two, if you end up playing any of these games because they sounded interesting to you and you like them, let us know. And if they led you to another game, absolutely let us know.
Yeah. And if you want to hear more of this conversation and even more Gateway Gaming picks, make sure to check out the podcast link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.